Today's video I'm making from the Algarve, southern Portugal, a place called Albufeira. Very nice place. Very nice place indeed. As you can see, the weather is fantastic. It's there's a lot going on there behind me. There's fishing and lads flying drones and so on. It's a very nice place to visit. Well worth having a look at. Good value food, good value drink, and generally cost of living is not bad from the perspective certainly of going on holidays. It's good, very good. The weather is excellent as well. It's a popular resort, popular place, Albufeira. You can go to Lisbon on a sort of a tour as I did yesterday, or you can go to Seville, which we did a couple of days ago, which, you know, obviously breaks up the holiday, and it's nice to get away and see other cities. This video I want to touch upon a couple of things. I want to touch upon one thing, in fact, and that is a principle that I'm using, or have been using for some time. It's a sort of a strategy in terms of generating business online, how I've grown my business online. Now, the strategy I'm going to elucidate a little bit on today, I've set out in my book, and my book is called, I think, How to Get Clients Online, or something of that nature. I can't remember exactly what the name of the book is. I'll put a link underneath this. But essentially in this video what I want to do is I want to just touch upon a particular tactic that I use, and I would describe it, I've made up a kind of a name for it, called Repurpose and Ratchet. So Repurpose and Ratchet. Fundamentally, my strategy to grow my business and generate leads, generate new clients through digital marketing, through online marketing, has been through content marketing. Specifically by content marketing, I mean I make a blog post or a video or both on a particular topic. It must have utility. It must be useful to a potential client of mine, a potential lead. To you, for example, the viewer, it must be useful. So I try to give away good tips, good information in advance, and not look for anything in return as such. I never say, you know, buy my stuff or use me as a solicitor. I simply make content. I put content out there. It's either a blog post or a video, and it must be useful. It must have utility. And that being the case, I then use a strategy of repurpose and ratchet. By that I mean, let's say, take for the sake of argument a video I would have made, say, last week, and put it up on YouTube. That video that I put on YouTube, I'd have no great regard for how long it is. There's no limit on YouTube as to how long the video can be, so it could be 7 minutes long. What I do then with the same video, and this is where the aspect of repurpose comes into it, I'll take that video and I'll just edit it down, I'll trim it down to 1 minute, and I'll stick it up on Instagram. And then I'll trim it down, or I'll use the same video and stick it up on Twitter. So now I'm redistributing my content in a number of different channels. Firstly YouTube, then Instagram, then Facebook, then Twitter. And remember, I've only used or made one video at the outset. I've only had to do the work once. I've only had to do one decent video, one decent blog post. And what I do then is I ratchet it. I use the various channels that are open to me to ratchet or leverage the value of that work that I've done once. And that way it allows me to maximize and optimize, from an efficiency point of view, my time and my energy and my resources. Some people think when they see me popping up all over the place on various social media sites that I've got some sort of team behind me or some assistance. I don't have anybody, not a single person. I do it all myself, and I do it through this idea of creating useful content, creating content of utility, either a blog post or a video, and then I repurpose it and I ratchet it and I distribute it out through various channels, and I might even distribute it out through various channels more than once. Now, anybody can use this strategy, but quite frankly I haven't seen too many people. In fact, I haven't seen any people in Ireland using this strategy. And you know, I'm no great pioneer or anything. It's a fairly straightforward, fairly simple strategy, but you do need to be committed to the idea of delivering value in advance, of creating a blog post or creating a video that's of value to my potential audience, to the people that I wish to serve. Once I can do that, then I can chop it up, chop it down, I can repurpose it, and I can ratchet that, and I can ratchet and optimize and say the value of what I've created through various channels. And there's quite a bit of trial and error involved, because obviously you're going to get different responses from different social media channels and so on, but it's not hard to do it. It's very straightforward, and you eventually will find your level, you'll find where your people are, you'll find where your interest and targeted audience is. It may be on Twitter, it may be on Facebook, it may be on YouTube, it may be on Instagram, but wherever it is, a piece of my content, which I may only have created once, is popping up there because I'm repurposing and I'm distributing it through the various channels. You can do this as well, depending on your industry, depending on your business, but very few people are actually really maximizing and exploiting the value of the free social media channels that are available. Now, if you find this video useful, I would appreciate you give it a thumbs up down below, and you may be interested in looking at my strategy in my book, How to Get New Clients, I think, through online digital marketing, or something of that nature. If you go to amazon.co.uk, just Google or do a search for my name, you'll see all my books listed. I have a number of employment law books, but one of them in particular is to do with digital marketing, online marketing, and that's the one that I'm referring to. I can't just recall the title of the book off the top of my head. I think I wrote that book in 2015. I updated it earlier this year in 2019, and the basic strategy I've tweaked a little bit down through the years, but essentially it's the same thing. It's content marketing. I create a blog post or I create a video. It must be useful, it must have utility for you, and then I distribute it through various channels. It's very, very simple. Obviously, when you are creating content, you may have a different business, and your content may be an audio piece, or it may be a podcast, it may be a song, it may be a spoken word, a poem, or poetry, or something of that nature. But in any event, you know best what you need to do to serve your audience best. You know best what to do in terms of creating a video, creating an audio recording, creating a podcast, creating a blog post. But you need to show up and you need to provide value, you need to provide utility. Hope you find this video useful. As I say, it's if you find it useful, give it a thumbs up down below. You may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. If this sort of thing floats your boat, if business or you have an interest in Irish law or Irish business, entrepreneurship, that sort of thing rings your bell, then you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. If so, hit the subscribe button down below, and as I say, give it a thumbs up. And as I say, I'm in Albufeira, it's in southern Portugal, Algarve, very, very nice spot. Would recommend it, good value. The service is rough and ready, but when you get beer, large beer for $2.50 and a brandy for $1.50, you overlook all sorts of imperfections in the service.